Folklore, my friends. Welcome back to another spooky story here on our channel. Today we're going to look into the legend of the Dobhar-Chú and find out all about this Irish waterhound. And remember, if you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe. Now, so without any further delay, grab a cup of tea, sit back, and let's delve into another Irish legend. The Dobhar-Chú is a bloodthirsty, gruesome creature that lives deep in the waters of a lake, river, or even the sea. It is known to be able to travel great distances in the water or on land. This monster hound is known for its speed, aggression, and appetite for human flesh. There are usually two of these creatures, and when one is killed, its mate will swim up from the depths of the water and avenge killing by pursuing its attacker, killing him and often eating him. This happens because when Dobhar-Chú is about to die, it gives off an eerie, high-pitched whistle to warn its mate. Like the legendary Bigfoot and many other creatures, the Dobhar-Chú is known as a cryptid, a term that refers to a creature or plant whose existence is unrecognized by scientific consensus and is usually regarded as highly unlikely to exist. However, in Glenad, County Leitrim, in the northwest of Ireland, there is evidence to suggest that this creature exists. Reports of sightings of Dobhar-Chú date back as far as 1684. One was recorded by Miss Walkington in the 1896 edition of the Journal of Royal Society of Antiquaries of Ireland. Miss Walkington described it as being half wolf dog and half fish. A few months afterwards, Mr. H. Chichester Hart responded to Miss Walkington's letter. He said that he heard rumours about a gruesome creature called Dobhar-Chú, which is said to be king of all lakes and father to all others. The creature is believed to live in many lakes around Ireland. Shireen's Loch in Achill Island, County Mayo, is where the largest number of, as of yet, unsubstantiated modern sightings in Ireland have been. Apparently, a small population of Dobhar-Chú live in Shireen's Loch, though it is believed that they are migratory, not living in the lake all year round. As recently as 2000, Irish artist Sean Corcoran and his wife claimed to have witnessed a sighting of Dobhar-Chú in a lake on Omni Island in Connemara, County Galway. Corcoran describes it as being large, dark, and with orange flippers. The creature, reports Corcoran, swam the width of the lake from west to east in what seemed like a matter of a few seconds. Corcoran concludes that it finally leapt into a huge boulder before disappearing and gave the most haunting screech. More frightening than selkies, seals who take the form of humans, are famous kelpies, mythical Irish water horses that inhabit rivers and lakes of Scotland and Ireland. The Dobhar-Chú is considered to be an immature form of the famous Loch Ness monster, affectionately known as Nessie. There is also a further interesting link between Ireland and these two monsters, which continues to this day. The link begins with the first sighting of the Loch Ness monster in Scotland in the 7th century by Irish missionary Saint Columba. Columba was also the first to challenge and overcome the Loch Ness monster. By using his spiritual powers, Columba miraculously saved a man from being devoured by the monster. This story leads to another myth that Nessie's offspring came to the lakes of Ireland to avenge Saint Columba's actions. But if you think the Dobhar-Chú is just another imaginary fable, be aware that there is some evidence to suggest it may be real. What is more, another theory suggests that the creature travels extensively. Some researchers, for example, connect famous lake monster Bessie, which is said to inhabit Lake Erie in the US, with the Irish Dobhar-Chú. There have been several sightings of this large serpentine monster, which followed Irish immigrants to the heartland of America. An unconfirmed sighting of Bessie describes a terrifying encounter with a huge lake creature that killed 3 people in 1992. A more elusive but sinister creature has apparently been attacking swimmers in Pump House Beach near Port Dover, Canada since August 2001. Other reports document that these creatures inhabit various scattered locations all over New England, as well as all Great Lakes region. However, out of all these sightings of Dobhar-Chú, it is the account in Glenelg County, Leitrim, in 1722 of the bestial murder of Grace McLaughlin that is the most famous. Oral tradition in this part of Ireland still holds the story that the Dobhar-Chú of Glenelg is true. This is the story as related by local storyteller Owen McGowan of Townland of Anlish, Kinlaw, County Leitrim. Grace McLaughlin, known as Grace or Grania Connolly, lived in the townland of Crevelia, which is close to the border of Leitrim and Sligo and on the northwestern part of Glenelg Lake. On September the 22nd, 1722, Grace came down to the lake, perhaps to wash some clothes. While she was doing this, a huge monster emerged from the water and savagely attacked, then killed Grace. She was later found by her husband Terence. Terence saw her bloody body on the side of the lake, and to his horror saw the huge beast which had killed his wife lying asleep across her dead body. Heartbroken with grief and furious, Terence knew at once that it was the Dobhar-Chú. Terence immediately found his dagger and killed the monster. However, as is usual with this kind of creature, during its death throes, it let out a high-pitched whistle, which alerted its mate to what was happening. A second Dobhar-Chú emerged at once from the depths of the lake. Terrified, Terence took to his heels and, jumping on a horse, began to ride for his life as the second Dobhar-Chú pursued him. Terence rode for many miles with the Dobhar-Chú close behind him. A local man, Patrick Doherty, now deceased, told historian and folklorist Joe McGowan the story of the chase. It started at Frank McSharry's or Glenade, faltered and ended close to Castlegarran Stone Fort in County Sligo at the Blacksmith's Forge. After being chased for miles, Terence was obliged to stop to have his horse's foot reshod. The blacksmith at Castlegarran, a wise man, knew the ways of this creature. He gave Terence a sword and told him, when the creature charges, he'll put his head to the right of the horse. As soon as he does this, you need to be quick and cut his head off. Terence, still on his horse, stood his ground near the forge. The huge beast came at him full charge, and then it put its head to the right of the horse, as predicted by the blacksmith. This time, however, Terence was ready. Determined to avenge his wife's murderer, Terence put his sword through the Dobhar-Chú's head, killing it instantly. There is a further ghoulish detail to back up this story. The grave of Grace Connolly actually exists. What's more, carved on her tombstone is a detailed depiction of her killer, the Dobhar-Chú. It is located in Conwall Cemetery in the town of the Drummonds. Drummonds near the village of Kinlaw is part of approach to the Valley of Glenade. The tomb itself is so old that most of the written details are ineligible. However, Grace's name and that of her husband can be made out. The carved image of the Dobhar-Chú is much clearer. The creature is depicted lying down with its head and neck flung backwards so that it lies flat along its back in its death throes. A spear-like weapon is shown piercing the base of the creature's neck, re-emerging below its body, and gripped by a human fist as its upper end. Also, and less well known, both Dobhar-Chú and McLaughlin's horse are buried in County Sligo, not far from Cashilgarran Stone Fort, where they were both killed. So, what do you guys think? Are Dobhar-Chú real? Or is it just something people in ancient times got confused with another animal, like an otter? Let us know in the comments, and let us know if you have any stories of Dobhar-Chú yourself. I'm sure a few of you do. Thank you all so much for watching. Please remember to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss one of our videos. And as always, until next time, good night and good luck.